Okay, Gianfranco, go ahead.
So I would like to introduce the team here. Nika Basile is going to present the case, Valentina, and we have a special guest that is Damian Kenny, and our anesthesiologist Umberto, Lucien, Mario, helping us, Giovanna and Lina, and all the team here. So thanks for having us, and please, Nika, introduce the case.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I present you this 45-year-old male with a mild degree of developmental delay. He was investigated for chronic renal failure and systemic hypertension, actually treated with atenolol and irbesartan. Subsequently, cardiology reviews have shown severe aortic coarctation. At physical examination, we have a significant pressure gradient between right arm and leg, and markedly weak femoral pulses. On ECG sinus rhythm and unremarkable chest X-ray and echocardiogram show you can appreciate this high velocity peak on Doppler with a diastolic tail and all throughout diastole. So CT scan confirmed diagnosis of a tight coarctation, aortic coarctation distal to the origin of subclavian artery. And our bioengineer of Politecnico di Milano have done this fluid dynamics analysis of the flow across the coarctation aorta, and then a structural simulation of stent implantation. You can see the different vessel diameter pre and post implantation, and then the flow across the coarctation that appears laminar. So now we have to move to the real stent implantation. Thank you.
Okay.
So welcome back. Yeah, welcome back. So we obtained the right femoral access. As usual, we do perform that with the help of our vascular surgeon, Marta Kova. She's around. She did a good job. And we have put a 14 French introducer in that artery. We also obtained the right radial artery through a 5 French Terumo introducer, and we did we obtained the hemodynamics, and we do have a 40 millimeters gradient between upper part of the body and lower part of the body. And let's go to pictures now. This patient had a CT scan.
Can we do picture?
And yeah. And we fused the pictures from CT scan together with the angio and with the actual cut. So you see the injection from above. There is a very tiny passage from above. Please go through the previous one, because here we inject simultaneously. This is the first one. You may see the very tiny flow through it. Next one. So we entered from above by using a Terumo wire. We created a circuit, and we advanced the 14 French that passed very easily through the coax. And now we have a let's back one. Yeah, we have a look again to pictures. Next one. Next one. Okay, these are measurements we have done. The aorta just above the coarctation is around 12 millimeters, and there is some offset between the origin of the subclavian artery, left subclavian artery, and the arch. As you may see, that is around 9-10 millimeters of mercury, and this will be important when placing a covered stent. And next picture, there are measurements of the descending aorta at the level of the diaphragm, and this is around 11 millimeters, 11 something millimeters. So now the plan is to implant a covered stent, and there are comments from you for sure about type of covered stents and length and diameters, etc. So please go ahead with questions and comments.
So Mario and Gianfranco, what are your options in Italy? Obviously, I'm assuming you're planning to place a covered stent with a near interruption. And so do you have certain options in the United States? We don't have so many options. So you want to comment on the various options for a covered stent? And again, I'm assuming it's going to be a covered stent with near interruption and the patient's age.
Yeah. We do have two options here in Italy that are CP covered stent and the Bentley stent. These are the two options we have currently in Italy available.
Yeah. If I make can you hear me? Can you hear me, John?
Can we hear Mario?
Yeah, can you get Mario's mic to work better, please?
Right.
So, since you put a 14 French sheath in, I'm assuming you're probably going to put the NewMed covered stent in. Is that correct? Just with the sheath size, or is that, or are you considering the Advena?
We don't have the full. We selected.
Yeah, Mario's mic's not working.
Yeah. So, yeah, we are planning to implant a covered stent. That will be a CP covered stent because we do not have available the B graft stent of 12 millimeters in diameter, and we feel that 14 would be a bit too much in that case. This patient is also an adult, 45, bicuspid aortic valve, and we feel that probably tissues are a bit more fragile than, for example, an adolescent in a similar setting.
And what
our plan is to implant
what stent of the covered stent? How long and what balloon delivery system are you planning to use?
Yeah, I'm going to use a pre-mounted CP covered stent. The meter will be 12, and the length will be 30 millimeters, and yeah, through that 14 French long sheet. Yeah.
Very good. Just to make a comment, in the United States, we do not have pre-mounted 12. We have 12 bibs, of course, and we put them on. We have only the 18, 20, and I think 22 pre-mount. So they didn't, at least in the States, they did not have so many access for pre-mount. But of course, we have the 12 bib, and we would just mount it on the 12 bib.
John, as you may see here, we have the CP covered stent pre-mounted of the balloon we have chosen. There is a nice sleeve to avoid any problem when passing through the valve of the long sheet. So we are ready to pass the valve of the long sheet. We put the valve in the ascending aorta, and now we are going to be ready to pass through the valve of the long sheet.
So while you're doing that, I'm going to ask the audience, raise your hand if you would use a bare metal stent in this patient. So I don't see any hands raised. So I'm assuming then everyone would put a covered stent in just like what was being done, correct? You raise your hands if you put a covered stent in? Yeah, okay, thank you.
You want to see the fluoro now. Fluoro, ragazzi, fluoro. Fluoro. Fluoroscopia, non nelle nostre mani. Dobbiamo vedere la fluoro.
Yeah, we need to see the fluoro here. You see the catheter in the ascending aorta is even a bit too far for what it is needed. Yeah. And we have the pigtail catheter in the horizontal aorta to check from above the exact positioning of the stent itself. Because if you have seen, there is a kind of offset. Yep.
Let's have the iPilot for the audience.
Yeah, and for us too. We do have the iPilot here. We fused the images with the angio, and I don't know if you are able to see iPilot in the screen in the main audience.
Just a comment.
Probably not yet. He's coming.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's coming right now.
If you use a 12 millimeter balloon only, you can actually mount a covered CP stent onto a 12 millimeter crystal and get it through a 10 or 11 French sheath rather than having to use a 14 French sheath.
Yeah, I guess the other thing I would comment, we can mount it on a 12 bib and do the same thing.
Yep, but I think even pre-mounted, it will go to a 12 anyway.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it's hard to get through a 10 with that because it damages, but yeah, the 11 or 12. So nice overlay, very nice.
Yeah, nice overlay. We should come back a bit more because we are a bit far from what we wish. Probably here should be better, and we could have a second angiography. What do you think, Maria? We're going to have a second angiography. We are doing. Okay.
Gianfranco, Gabriele speaking. Do you always perform a circuit?
That's good.
Do you always perform a circuit even if CT showed that it wasn't a complete atresia?
Yes, that's our preference, to do a circuit.
Yeah, we do prefer to have a circuit because when we have to pass with a big sheet, even a 12 French sheet, it's better to have some tension on the system. Otherwise, we need to.
Okay, if you don't mind, just let us see without any question now. Yes.
So now we are going to.
I think it's okay. The position.
Yeah.
Is okay.
It'll shorten a little, I think, won't it?
Yes. Yes.
Let's see again the picture we have done to show. No.
Yeah, we can. Well, we can
Uncover.
uncover.
Yeah.
Inflate the inner balloon.
And so are you going to use your overlay?
Let's do an angio here.
For instance, when we've gone through these tight coarctations, and I know you've got a radial and the other catheter, which is nice, but we've also deployed just under direct overlay without doing lots of other angiograms. If you trust your overlay and you've documented that the wire and everything is not, we've done it just with overlay without a lot of extra injections.
Okay, well, what do you think about the position? Shall we come back a bit, just a couple of millimeters, or it's going to be okay?
No, I think it looks.
Are you happy with the position?
Yeah, I think it looks
we
good.
don't think so.
What we could do is to inflate the inner balloon and do another check angiogram.
Yeah, not
yes.
too much. Fine.
Damien is going to
Okay.
inflate the inner balloon.
You keep. Yeah.
Inject.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. That's good.
Yeah. you got that.
Okay.
Let's give a look at the angio, please. Yeah, it looks okay to me.
Yeah, it looks
so
good.
we do proceed with the outer balloon.
Yep.
Just a couple of millimeters, 1 millimeter.
Lower.
Yeah.
But it is uncovered anyway.
Yeah, I know.
It'll shorten a little, won't it?
Yeah, it is short.
Okay.
Yeah,
there
at
you
12
go.
millimeters is
I
not going to
think,
shorten much.
okay.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well,
Ready?
Yeah, I mean, inflate in sine, Gianfranco.
Yeah.
so
We are
that
going
is
to
better.
do
Okay.
in scene.
You're
Yeah.
ready, yes?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, that's where the waist is right now.
Go.
Maximum.
Okay, happy?
Okay, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And down?
Can deflate.
Okay.
Yeah, that looks very nice. It's right in the middle. The near interruption is right in the middle of the stent, which is excellent.
Deflate.
Yeah, I'll deflate this.
Why did you do an angio immediately from the
Yeah.
bag? Ready to inject?
Ready to inject? Okay.
That looks very good.
Can you, I know you'll do a bigger injection. Can you just measure pressures for us real quick? Because we're getting close to time where the lunch session starts and we still have left Oliver kind of out in the left field here. So can you give us quickly the pressures and then take whatever injection you're going to do?
We are going to give you pressures.
Do you want me to come back with this balloon?
You see the pressure there. You see the pressure.
Yes, both.
There is some contrast inside. Okay. So you may see the pressures. Please give a look at the.
Can you see the recording, the pressure recordings?
Era un po' di Stop. Okay, stop. Okay, so the red is the radial artery.
The yellow and green. The radial artery and the descending aorta zero gradient.
Yeah, descending artery is the yellow, and the green is the left radial artery. We also could connect the right radial artery, and you may see, I mean, the three pressures are the same. There is no gradient or 2 millimeters gradient. So I think that we should stop here. We are going to have also another injection in the AP view just to be sure that there are no other, problems. Let's do an AP. Arco posteriore? AP, sì. Just to rule out any, dissection or any problem, but it looks like be a nice result.
Oh, so we got... Oh, you don't start till 1.
Okay, ready to inject? Pronto? Sì. Go. Okay.
Thank you. Well done, Mario.
So guys, any comment, any question?
No, it looks very good.
Please give a look again at the previous injection. See, okay, you may see that's the right diameter. The ascending aorta is right the dimension of the stent. I would not postulate the distal part of the stent. There is no need in my mind. Do you agree?
Yeah, no, we don't really post-dilate any of the, the ends or anything. We don't try to flare or anything else. I think it looks great. Ultimately, his aorta probably below will get bigger, and someday, he's an adult, so probably you'll dilate this again, maybe one more time after everything gets a little bigger. But I wouldn't do anything more now.
Yeah, me too. I think that we are okay.
Okay, we're going to leave you guys. It's excellent. And actually, we do have time. I told Oliver we didn't, but we do have time. Oliver's going to give his rebuttal to Dietmar, and we'll do this final lecture. We'll still have about 15 minutes. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks a lot. See you.